Welcome everyone to Piston Cup Productions. This is a video I've been wanting to do for a very long time. It is a Disney Cars Diecast Iceberg video. If you aren't familiar with an iceberg video, basically you go tier by tier on one of these charts. The deeper you go, the deeper the information and the less known about it is. So this is going to be completely related to 155 scale diecast. We're talking canceled releases, strange and obscure things the average collector doesn't know about, and more. Without further ado, let's get into it by starting with the first layer, the more common stuff, layer 1. The cancellation of the deluxe line. Everyone knows this happened. 2022 had a final niche wave with Mack, the Dinoco helicopter, Miss Fritter, and a couple other cars that have already been released before. Nothing new. It is uncertain why Mattel canceled the deluxe line. There is no reason yet or any statement, so it remains a mystery. Canceled 2010 haulers. Everyone knows these were canceled. There's the ones from the Collector's Guide and team sets, and the ones shown at the Peterson Automotive Museum in Los Angeles, California. Lead paint Sarge recall. On August 14, 2007, Mattel and the United States Consumer Product Safety Commission announced that they would be voluntarily recalling all Sarge diecast models sold between May and August of 2007, as they had detected lead paint in them. The affected diecasts were produced in China by the Hong Kong-based Early Light Industrial Company. The recall also affected many other toys and brands sold by Mattel. An estimated 436,000 Sarge diecasts were recalled. Some chains returned all new diecast shipments or took all diecasts from store shelves entirely because all characters within a shipment assortment shared the same product code. The recall impacted the Cars diecast line distribution for the next couple of months. CNN did coverage of the lead paint recall as well, and Mattel still has a webpage on how to identify if your Sarge is the lead variation. China to Thailand switch. In late 2018, heading into 2019, Mattel's Disney Cars diecast line mysteriously transitioned from made-in-China vehicles to made-in-Thailand vehicles. The decals were grainy, fuzzy, hard to read, uglier, had heat-printed decals instead of separately applied decals, different axles, etc. No statement explaining why this change was made by Mattel, but funnily enough, when the line first started in 2006, cars were manufactured in Thailand and China, but that didn't last long. For over 10 years, the line was produced by China. It still remains a mystery to this day why they've been switched to Thailand. Oddly, Vietnam has been involved with the diecast line too, mainly with anything outside of the Cars main line. They've mostly been in charge of sidelines, haulers, playsets, color changers, etc. The consistency has just been horrible. Mini racers also joined Thailand at the factory with the mainland. Cancellation of the Precision Series line. Most people know this occurred. The Cars Precision Series line was a collection of premium cars with premium prices. To give you an idea, a single Lightning McQueen from the main line was retailing for $3.72 at Walmart locations. The Precision Series singles would range between $10 to $20 depending where you'd purchase them. The singles and deluxes of this line had moving parts, rubber tires, and high-quality paint. Kind of like a Matchbox moving parts, but just premium. Replica buildings that, when put all together, would create a 155 scale replica of Radiator Springs were also created, featuring high-end adult collector details and exclusive versions of the Cars characters with the same features as the Precision Series assortment, but with the moving parts feature replaced with real working headlights and taillights. The line could be purchased at Toys R Us, Amazon, H-E-B, and some Target stores. In 2019, Mattel announced that the Precision Series would be discontinued and canceled due to poor sales. The closure of Toys R Us did not help either. They were one of, if not the main supplier for this collection. The hardcore collectors were devastated, which led to Mattel giving us, the consumers, the opportunity to get the next building needed to complete the town, Doc Hudson's Medical Clinic, into production via a crowdfund. It needed to reach a goal of 3,000 units produced, but unfortunately, it did not make the goal, and the canceled items became as follows. Buildings: Doc's Medical Clinic, Radiator Springs Courthouse and Fire Department, the abandoned buildings, and the Racing Museum. Singles assortment: Cars 3 Intro Lightning McQueen or Rusty's Lightning McQueen, Rusty's Racing Center Lightning McQueen, Danica Cruz Ramirez, Cars 3 Intro Ramon, and the Precision Series single of Lizzie with a wobbling feature. Peterson Automotive Museum. Going back to the canceled haulers, the Peterson Automotive Museum in California had a huge cars display featuring Mattel's 155 scale diecast. There was a huge Lightning McQueen silhouette featuring hundreds of diecast models inside of it, the Motor Speedway of the South set, a wall showing the packaging evolution, and so many canceled cars. A few people own these canceled cars. Several made their way through the cracks and were auctioned off. Final lap ended early. The remaining final lap products getting canned to make room for Cars 2. We know most of these. Some even surfaced this year through international connections. It's absolutely insane what you can find years later. Bobby Swift Hauler Color Variant. In 2017, for the release of Cars 3, Mattel released several new haulers, one of which was Bobby Swift's hauler, the Cars 3 Octane Gain Veteran Racer. There is two color variations of the hauler, one being a lavender sort of purple, and the other being a much deeper, vibrant, darker shade of purple. It didn't last long, and every version of Bobby's hauler soon after 2017 used the lavender shade of purple ever since. Carnival Lightning McQueen Wheel Variant. This one was mass-produced. The original version had orange tires and later were updated to yellow. I fortunately own both variants. Both are good in my opinion. I personally don't have a preference, but I mean, the yellow ones do match the artwork, so I guess I'll go for the yellow ones. Red Ransberg CEO Lightning McQueen. Given out at a brainstorm session attended by Mattel, Disney, and Pixar Cars diecast personnel in fall of 2007, there were 50 given out in a bag along with t-shirts. This is commonly called the Cars Team 2009 Red Ransberg diecast. It is believed that there is only one made for the CEO of Toys R Us, who won it for $13,000, considered one of the rarest cars of all time. The Factory Custom Book by Chris Michaelbust. The book itself is really only known by those in the collector's circle and features some nice obscure factories customs in it. A huge thank you goes to Radiator Springs Rides on Instagram for providing photos of his copy and some of his favorite pages. Mass-produced NASCAR McQueen Erber. So I'm putting this here because of how easy it is to actually find the content on YouTube. The official Cars YouTube channel posted it. The story also isn't super interesting. It's likely just a bunch of samples. However, the real question is, why did they make that many samples? And how did one of those errors actually slip through the cracks and made it into a 2024 NASCAR case assortment? It's extremely weird, and we don't have any responses for this one. Racerama Vinyl Cover Mac. Shown at San Diego Comic-Con 2008, it was to be released before the year was over, but in the midst of the golden age of Mattel's Disney Pixar Cars, it got lost in the avalanche of singles, lenticulars, 2-packs, haulers, tunes, and exclusives. Somewhere along the line, there was a stop order given, and this is the only few, or the only one, that was left factory sealed. From the personal collection of the product's creator, Martin Ariola, he drew inspiration from the poster inside the Rusty's tent from Cars 1. Cancelled 2018 Easter Cars. Bunny Ears McQueen, Fillmore, Luigi and Guido. Might have been an Easter buggy reissue somewhere here too. Outside of Lightning McQueen, these seemingly did not have new designs and were merely just repackaged cars with slight tweaks. Easter Luigi has surfaced and would have been slightly different looking to the Precision Series vehicle counterpart. Neon Racers 2016. These all came back to Target in 2016 with the Daredevil Garage logo on them out of nowhere. An odd and obscure thing on this list. Metallic Maryland, China, and Thailand. Released in mid-2018 from China alongside rubber-tired Jackson, Cruz, Chick, and Cal, and then released in an early 2019 case from Thailand along Michael Roeder, Mater with 95 hat. It felt like a weird switch between China and Thailand, and it just kind of blended between everything. Cancelled Damaged Doc Hudson. This is easily accessible knowledge, but I feel like you don't know it exists unless you know where to look for it, if that makes sense. In 2009, Mattel released Night Vision Goggles Lightning McQueen featuring a collector's guide for that year. Inside the guide is the Holy Grail cancelled Damaged Fabulous Hudson Hornet. It is unknown why it is cancelled. Rare 2018 rubber tire cars in mainline. Jackson, Cruz, Cal, and Cars 3 Chick included here, along with Ryan, Brick, and Bobby that were all cancelled, with only Ryan surfacing online recently. Allegedly, Brian's Spark might have been planned, but it is unclear for sure this is the rubber tire variant. USB email alert cars. A strange collection of USB email alert toys were produced by Disney. They created a Disney Princess collection, Mickey Mouse, and notably, Cars in 1/55th scale. McQueen, the King, Chick, Doc, and Mater, all respectively. The Disney Cars USB email alerts connects to your private email account when you cannot, and lets you know what is going on. It supports Gmail, Yahoo, Outlook Express, and works in the background to inform you every time you receive a new email. Every new email would come through the character with special sound effects and animated eyes. With the keyboard alert mode, the car would also interact with your typing motion. 2021 Employee Lightning McQueen. In 2024, an employee at the Mattel's vehicle team was laid off or quit and took her entire collection of employee gifts to a store called Second Chance Toys and Collectibles in Georgia. The previous gifts were usually Hot Wheels or Matchbox related, but seemingly for the 15th anniversary of Cars, they chose to create this special 1 of 20 Lightning McQueen. The item has since sold for $2,000 to Maddie Cars 95 on Instagram. Radiator Springs 500.5 Lizzie. Everybody knows of the cancelled fan favorites Lizzie and Road Trip Lizzie, but I bet you didn't know this version also exists. Damn, Mattel really has it out personally for any Lizzie that wears a hat. Crew Chief Lightning McQueen cancellations. Both Cars 3 McQueen and Fabulous Lightning McQueen with headsets have been cancelled. Cars 3 Lightning McQueen would have introduced itself into the 2019 mainline, and Fabulous Lightning McQueen would have been a part of the 2020/2021 Target exclusive fan favorites line. Funnily enough, a mini racer Cars 3 McQueen with headset was released in 2023. Usually, whenever a mini racer comes out, it's been a constant trend that the 155 scale release comes out shortly after the mini, and well, McQueen with the headset never did. Wow, what a spit in the face. I think Mattel just doesn't like McQueen with anything on his head at this point, like Lizzie. Truck Stop Hauler number 1. A cancelled hauler from 2023 only surfaced as a Walmart listing. Might have been from Cars on the Road, but small chance it was related to Cars 1. Impossible to know. Original XRS plans. Originally called the XRC Extreme Racing Challenge, presumably implying it was only one event. Likely changed when they decided to make it T-Rock the sequel. Reb Meeker is shown in the early Mud Racers lineup. Cruise hauler cancellations. Planned in 2019 and scrapped. Some new stock photos appeared in 2022 in an updated assortment listing. The Walmart Canada product data for Bobby Swift's hauler re-release mistakenly lists him as Cruise's hauler, meaning it was likely axed for 2022 as well. And finally, in 2024, it was released at last. Sketchy history, but at least it's here. Geez, Mattel really hates the haulers line. Actually, fun fact, remember that Martin Ariola guy from earlier who pitched the idea of the white vinyl Mac hauler? Yeah, get this, he's the man responsible for the haulers line's existence to begin with. After he watched the first Cars movie, he thought haulers were absolutely necessary for the Diecast line, and of course, Mattel wasn't a fan of the idea. They turned it down at first, but Martin was persistent that it needed to happen, hence the birth of the haulers line. And it turned out to be a huge success. Can you imagine living in a world where Mattel would have never have made something as essential as a frickin' Mac, the King's hauler, or the Chick's hauler? 2011/2012 Duff Rex Cameraman. This was given out as a gift to the camera crew and staging crew for Cars 2. Don't know much more about this one. The full plan for the Rarest birthday series. Launched in 2018 at Toys R Us, it is unfortunately short-lived due to the closure of its USA locations. This line would have included many more Townies and Townie variants, including a Ghostlight Ramon that is in the possession of YouTuber Mr. Docket. The original Salt Flat Fever 9-pack. Laughing Palace provided an image of this prototype Salt Fever pack, featuring Lightning McQueen and Mater with the salt tires, Royce Rasley with a totally different expression, and a darker syrup cogs. The salt detailing on Royce was also less intrusive and more realistic. I hate the official version of these packs now with a burning passion. It just shows you how lazy Mattel was by shoving in a bunch of duplicate diecasts instead of making actual new variants. Cars 3 Lightning McQueen with fabulous Lightning McQueen eyes. A few of these have surfaced. Unclear if it was an error that was mass-produced or an actual legit variant. One of them is in the possession of Dynaco Blue on Instagram and YouTube. Spring 2017 mainline cut short. Similar to the Final Lap collection being cut in favor of Cars 2's releases, the Spring 2017 mainline was cut short to make way for Cars 3's mainline. Most are known, but there are still some unknowns. What makes it interesting is several photos leaked out of Cars early in the package. This includes pieces like Miguel with Flames, Christina Garcia, and Amira Revsk. We don't have images of the other cars in packages like Shu with Flames, Lewis's Hamilton Spitty, but these still fall under the same category as they are all from 2017 in the spring collection. Checo Perez tribute. Unknown if more than one exists, but in 2022, Mexican driver Checo Perez, who is a worthy name in F1, received a recognition from Mattel, Disney, and Pixar. Checo was gifted a one-of-one unique 155 scale diecast that utilizes Francesco Bernoulli's model with his vehicle's paint job. Imagine a toy company coming up to you out of nowhere and saying, "Hey, here's a toy of this car you drive themed after the Cars universe. This is the only one we're making. Go crazy." 2018 Radiator Springs Classics line. This line of diecast was unfortunately cut short to, yet again, the closure of Toys R Us in the United States. Man, Toys R Us was like one of the places for cars. Several singles and deluxes themed after Cars 3 and 2 different 3-packs were released. Unfortunately, several deluxes were cancelled. This includes the Toy Story 2 truck, Leroy with snow tires, Miles meat truck, and it is believed that Bessie would also join this category. Daredevil Garage cover-ups. 2016 and 2017 releases had the Daredevil Garage ads covered up with collect them all stickers on card backs that featured them. Game sucked that bad, huh? Revo and Dats cover-ups. The first batch of the Revo Cause and Dats Jamming color changes from Cars on the Road had their code names printed on the name tags and cards. Special construction for Dats and Classic Rod for Revo. These were covered up stickers featuring their actual names. The inception of the lenticular line, how it came to be. At some point during the prime of the Disney Cars diecast line, for some stupid reason, Mattel was panicking about what to do next for the Mattel Disney Pixar Cars diecast line. Take note, they had amazing playsets, the Cars Tunes line, Race-O-Rama the video game, and its diecast collection out. Anyways, Martin Ariola once again saved Mattel. Martin at the time had involvement with both the He-Man toys and Cars toys. The idea of creating lenticular cars came from a He-Man action figure with a lenticular chest piece. A prototype using McQueen was made with 4 unique expressions to be presented to the head of Mattel, and they loved it. And just like that, one of the most hated sidelines in the Disney Cars history was created. Okay, to be fair, the only reason people even hated this sideline is because it gave us several characters that only received a lenticular release, which sucked because most of the time, these cars looked like they had 4 eyes. Ugh. And it sucks even more when you find out that some of the exclusive lenticular characters without lenticular eyes were planned/exist. Take this non-lenticular metallic strip Weathers prototype, for example. Piston Cup Race 9-pack. This is a fully packaged 9-pack that would have been released in 2024. It was scrapped for unknown reasons and would have included a stack of Dynaco tires with Lightyear text on them for the first time. Yeah, pretty weird, isn't it? Andrew Butts. Some versions of Megan Shifter released with Andrew Butts' name on the name tag and card back. Is this an early name for her? Is this for the Fiber Fuel crew chief? It is unknown. 2018 Rubber Tire Demo Derby line. The Rubber Tire Demo Derby line started in 2017 and got a few extra releases in 2018 in Canada. This includes Chester Whipplefilter with an N2O Cola sign, Jimbo, and Fishtail. Other releases were planned and cancelled, including Sig Alert, Pile Up, Pushover, and Run. Yeah, just Run. Not Hit, just Run. So that's like making Guido and not including him with Luigi. Wait a minute. The 2016 Cars 3 mainline leaks includes ton of early code names like Ding, Krabby, Old Timer with Dent, and cancelled cars like Jackson Storm's crew chief, Brickyardly's sponsor, Brick and Bobby's deluxe semi-cabs, And the list also includes cars that would eventually release in 2018, which are the Sputter Stop Cab, oversized RV with flags, which was Van Scanlane. The many names of Cal Weathers. This one ties right into the last entry. Known as Hank Weathers and Strip Weathers Jr. before Cars 3's release date, Day 1 versions of Cal Weather Diecast had Hank written on his roof lining instead of Cal. 2017 UK exclusive diecast releases. This features 8 diecasts that Mr. Dockhead has done a full in-depth video to, and this basically includes 8 diecasts that for whatever reason only made it to the United Kingdom for 2017, presumably for the spring line if I'm not mistaken. I haven't seen the video in a while, but if you'd like to go see that video, I recommend checking it out. Also, some UK exclusive tunes that year, including Stunt Mater, Dragon Lightning McQueen with Oil Stains, and Big Fan. That's weird. I didn't expect Cars tunes to be on this list. Even the advanced collectors don't know shit about these. Gage. A singular Walmart listing exists of this unknown character simply named Gage, surfacing around the time of Cars 3's listings that would appear in 2017. Firefight Lightning McQueen and Firefight Ram. Single listings in 2022 appeared for 2 firefight-themed cars. It was later found out that it turned out to be Lightning McQueen and Ramon. It is unclear what these are based off of, presumably cancelled due to On the Road coming out that same year. Could they be based on the Mini Adventure designs or the Tomica designs? Could these be accessible in 2025 as completely new designs? We do know that for 2025, the mainline will receive a new firefighting collection integrated into the mainline, similar to the GRC collection, the Disney 100s, the Racing Reds, etc. We'll just have to wait and see. The 12-count Cars 3 Lightning McQueen case. Literally a singles case of 12 Cars 3 Lightning McQueens, kind of like the 12-count version cases you see at Walmart nowadays. These were found at Canadian dollar stores. Maybe these were given for marketing purposes and that's what they were meant for, or maybe they were meant for movie theaters to purchase, to give out with the purchase of a ticket. I don't know, but if any of you guys know who live in Canada, please drop it in the comments. I'd love to learn. The Hong Kong couple. This is the final item on this Cars Iceberg video, and it is the deepest, last thing you would probably know about if you're an average collector. Chris Michaelbus's Factory Customs book tells the story of what happened. I'm going to leave the 2 pages on screen throughout the rest of this segment, but just read this as I basically talk about what happened in a very summed up format. Please don't research any of this, and please just don't do anything stupid. I'm already risking a lot putting it in this video. Long story short, after what is stated in this book, it is known that Mattel had heavily gotten involved with their arrest and a huge shit show just happened. The only way you really know of this event even happening is if you knew someone who worked at Mattel at the same time of all of this stuff going down, witnessed it and told you about it, or if you actually own Chris's book and read about it more thoroughly. Who would have guessed that something as simple as Disney Cars would have such lore involving an arrest? So that pretty much sums up the Cars 155 scale Mattel Diecast Iceberg. And let me know your thoughts on everything. Did you learn something? Was there something on here that you already knew about? I'd love to get some discussion going. This is a video that has been long overdue. I mean, it's something I've been wanting to do for the longest time, and I just wanted to take a moment to give thanks to the people involved with this video, starting off with World of Cars Entertainment, who helped me edit this video, and the Fresh Trunk, formerly known as Trunk Fresh Green 47, who helped me piece everything together and organized everything by tiers. I also want to give a huge shout out to the people who gave me photos and information on a lot of the items on this list, like Dinoco Blue, Diecast Dungeon, Radiator Springs Rides on Instagram, along with Maddie Cars 95. Without you guys, this video wouldn't have been possible, and thank you guys so much for your involvement. Piston Cup Productions signing out, and I will see you guys next time.